What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Nom Syndicate podcast. You're chilling with Frank and Quincy.
Yep.
And today, we're going to be talking about an Indiana staple. Something that, most of our listeners, being that they're from around the area, are going to be familiar with. But for those of you that are not, we will break it down.
Yeah.
We are talking about the one and only Pizza King.
Yeah, Pizza King. Ring the king,
Pizza
baby.
King.
Yeah.
For those of you in the area, you might remember the iconic commercials of the skydivers
On the snowboard.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, right.
Jumping out of
he
the
on
plane.
the snowboard?
Yeah, he's on that guy. I think that guy's dead now.
Yeah. Why is he on a snowboard?
I don't know.
Because
Rest
was he
in peace.
falling over some snow?
Nah, man, that's just a thing people do.
Yeah.
He must have had a lot of Red Bull and Mountain Dew.
I always thought it was a Muncie staple too.
Extreme.
Like I feel like Muncie people are more crazy about it than the rest of India. I think Muncie people, and then when they move out of Muncie, they like, where's the king? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think,
in my brain,
I think Muncie. I think Pizza King has an iron death grip on Muncie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Pizza Kings here, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's at least there's like 6 in just Muncie.
Yeah. I know.
Now, for those of you
I know
listening,
3.
Muncie is not that big of a place. There
No,
is
it's about
like
4. Yeah.
less than 70,000 people here. It is not a large geographical area.
No. We consider a town.
Yeah. It's technically considered a small city,
small city,
by legal definition, but like you could definitely town it up if you were thinking it. But there's a lot of Pizza Kings. You've got, I know there's Wheeling, Macedonia, 12th Street, Tillotson, Bethel,
That's the only ones I can think of.
Royerton.
Oh, yep, there you go. There's your 6. Or was that 7?
That might have been, I don't know. Instant replay.
We got a lot of them.
Pull up the replay.
Yeah. We got a lot of Pizza
Yeah.
Kings in this mug.
There's more Pizza Kings than I got fingers on one hand is all
And
I
people
need to
going
tell
to
you.
pick which ones they think is the best Pizza King.
I will
They
tell
gonna
you which ones
This
are the
one
best.
tastes the best. Which one you going
Dude,
on?
but it's a different, it depends. Now you got to see, there's pro tips here.
Uh-oh.
So I've worked at Pizza King for like a number of years. And so I got some inside info.
But as a regular eater and goer, what would
we
you
will
say?
break that down in a minute. First, we got to let everybody know that's listening. What the hell is Pizza King?
Yeah, okay.
So Pizza King is this interesting, it is a pizza franchise. It is an Indiana pizza franchise.
Yeah.
And it's been around for quite a while. Without getting too specific, it is a interesting style of pizza.
Yeah, edge to edge.
It's almost
Classic
like
edge to edge.
when I explain it to people that are used to traditional pizza stuff that come from like people with real pizza culture that
like
come
New
in.
York style joints and stuff. Yeah.
I'm like, there's not really a crust. It's it's good
edge
to
to
the
edge.
very edge.
I feel like, people confuse, I guess this is a side, but people confuse, like, Chicago's known for deep dish, but Chicago also got a lot of thin crust joints. Like,
Chicago's got fire
a lot
pizza
of
spectrum.
Yeah. Like, it ain't just the deep dish. I guess that's the staple. Like,
That's the gimmicky tourist shit. Yeah.
Ones, but anything outside of that in Chicago, them pizzas is fire.
Do you think at one point Chicago was just like, okay, New York has that street pizza down,
Yeah, New York got that,
and they were like, hold my beer,
Shoot,
we're gonna create thick.
Detroit style pizzas. They got their own joint with the pan, with that square
the
pan,
rectangle,
and they get that great crust, that good crisp like cheese joint on that.
Yeah,
I like
kinda
that.
like-
I like those.
No, Detroit style is great
Because
man.
that's like I guess it's almost like a deep dish, but it's not.
Pizza Hut wanted to be Detroit style. They
Yeah.
like robbed
You know
Detroit
who
style
did it
and
good?
cheapened
You
it.
know who did it good? Little Caesars, boy.
Yeah, they
Little
did.
Caesars did that shit
Nah,
right,
Little
baby.
Caesars did. They took that and they ran with it.
Yeah, hey, they did it right. But and that comes from like they got that grandma style pizza where it's cooked in the same thing like that, but your tomato sauce is like on top just randomly.
Yep.
That's the same kind. But yeah, my bad.
Oh no, you're fine.
We know about some pizzas, man.
Yeah.
I think every Muncie person know a little bit about pizzas.
You have to. We've got a lot of pizza joints in this place. Per capita, we probably got more pizza places than most areas. But here's the thing. Pizza King's not a traditional pizza. It's kind of like, because people have beef about it too. They'll kind of be like, man, it ain't pizza. And I'm like, okay, if you think about it, you want to contextualize it as kind of like a gourmet flatbread.
Yeah.
Knock yourself out.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's what it is. And it leans heavy into, the other thing that makes it a little different is it's not cut in your traditional pie pieces. No. It's cut in squares.
Hey, that was the first pizza I had with squares. I was like, why are they cutting it like this? When I was little, I was like, what the heck?
insider tip, you can request that they cut it.
Yeah,
like
you can't.
pie.
But then it almost messes with the flavor.
Yeah, it's not as good.
It's like it mentally. It's like, I guess if you never had that pizza, it's not gonna be weird to you. But for a person that's always eating that pizza and always eating the squares, when you cut it like a different way, you like, what the hell is this?
It's disorienting. Yeah, you're like, oh God, what have you done to me?
And they add so many toppings. Like, it's a heavy pizza. So really if you cut it like those little squares are perfect for how much shit is on top of that.
Correct.
Like if you get a royal feast. Yeah. I guess we're gonna get in that, but if you get your royal feast, that one slice gonna be like that thick. You know what I'm saying? Beefy. And it's like cheese with a whole bunch of meat. You get your meat lovers, boy, that motherfucker. Yeah. Look, I'm cussing too much here. Talking about Pizza King.
You're gonna be dropping.
I'm only drinking coffee and water.
So he claims.
My mama listening. No, love your mama.
But yeah, Pizza King is it's just kind of a staple here, and so like the toppings go all the way to the edge. So there's not like a crust. There's not really a thing, and you're eating centerpieces, and this goes into the whole like the culture of it too. Because
my mama loved the corners.
Same.
That's her favorite joints.
Me too. I think we might be. Yeah. We're on the same page. Those things are great, man. I grab them quick. The edges are good, and you can eat your way in and do all these different things. But it's the other thing that's really different for most people is it's not the cheese situation is not the same as what most people, because most pizzas lean heavy into mozzarella. But
I was gonna ask what kind of cheese, because since you work there, you would know. I was wondering like what kind of cheese they put on there, because if it's not hot, if it's been sitting like almost immediately, like you got to be eating it fresh. And like anytime we order that pizza and it get to the crib, like if we ordering this coming home, I always got a pizza slicer ready. That's a pro tip. If you're getting Pizza King, some people who eat Pizza King probably don't even know that. Get you a pizza slicer, because you're going to have to cut you some pieces out, because if you take one piece and it look like it's cut good, you peeling off the cheese to every other piece around it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, you can.
Like you need to re-slice your pizza.
That's why you got to do the double, you got to do the pull part. Like you gotta
But then you double handing everybody's pizza.
Man, if you're eating pizza, you don't care.
You don't. It's not if you eat with your family.
It's kind of like, so like, it's like pizza Jenga. Yeah. Like if you I only want one piece. Yeah. But like if you go to grab it and 3 pieces come, you're eating 3 pieces.
You eating 3 pieces?
Yeah, this is how it works.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like you gotta recut your pizza. Now if it's coming fresh to the table and you eating it, you usually ain't got that. I mean, it's gone before it starts getting too cold. But you're right. That joint congeals like.
So let's talk about the congealing. So the pizza, the cheese situation is very different. So like most of the time you're very provolone, or you're mozzarella heavy, but with them it's provolone. They use mostly provolone cheese and like in their topping. So it's like it's heartier. It gives it a unique flavor.
It does.
Like it's a very different style. Like it's and that's something that's really different. And they do spend money on cheese. Like cheese is one thing they drop money on. But that's one of a bunch of different tips. Like, and their sauce is fairly simple. The sauce is made in most of the stores. That was like a task that you'd have to do, and it's basically like a can of tomato sauce, and then it's water, tomato paste, and like salt and like oregano and a few other different things. But it's a simple sauce. Like most of the red sauce that you get pizza. We were talking about in another pizza episode. We're on a pizza kick, by the way. This is just kind of how this goes.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's cold outside. Pizza's good. We're living the dream. That's how we get down. It's pizza. But the pizza's not the sauce isn't overly sweet. It's not very salty.
No,
it's
you
very
get most
tomato
of that salt
paste
from
heavy.
all the toppings.
Yeah, the cheese has some salt in it and stuff, and the meats. If you do the meat situation, you're going to have a lot of salt from that. But mostly, you are going to be having just like a pretty tomato, like a basic tomato sauce flavor. You can also get barbecue sauce. And
which I don't mind. I've never been a barbecue sauce pizza person other than my sauce on pizza, but I don't mind Pizza Hut's too much. Or not Pizza King's too much.
I'm trying to remember. So
it's not too bad. It's a little strong.
Well, what they do is you have to put the sauce on, and then you have to salt it. So they have like when you make that pizza, and when you do barbecue sauce, you do a barbecue sauce ladle, and then you got to salt on top of that. So they salt their barbecue sauce.
We always go kind of light sauce on our stuff. Any style pizza, we always go a little light sauce.
So I'll give you the pro tip right now. the pro tip on how you work. If you want something that's the best of both worlds, you do what's called a mixed sauce, and you get a mixture where it's like equal parts red sauce to barbecue sauce. Changes the game. Completely changes the game. It's not sweet.
Heard of that.
And it's not too tomato. It's like it makes like the best of both worlds. Like I turned my family onto that, man, and it got nuts. Got nuts. Yeah. Working there long enough. I mean, you start eating weird stuff. Like you start throwing it down at Pizza King if you're trying to like. I mean, you're trying the menu all the time. Which especially I was like, when I was working there, I was probably like 19, maybe 20. I think I was 19. It's a long time.
Yeah. It's been a minute.
A lot of time has passed.
Some shit probably didn't change since you've been in there.
Oh man, it was bad.
Probably not too much.
No, I'm probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, they've churched it up.
If anything, the prices probably went up even more than what they were back then.
Talk about them prices.
Wait. Let's talk about the other foods though, because you got to talk about them breadsticks when you talk about Pizza King.
So Pizza King's got. Let's break down the menu. The menu is kind of interesting. So when you go to Pizza King, you have your different size pizzas. Now, it is important to note that certain sizes are dumber than other sizes.
Yeah.
So the 8-inch is an 8-inch dough. It comes in an 8-inch weight. You get a 10-inch. It's actually an 8-inch dough that's stretched. Like they'll tell you to grab an 8 and stretch it out.
Yeah.
And then then you got a 12 to 14. So basically the only sizes worth even getting are like the 8, 12, and 16.
Yeah. I feel like no one's ever ordered lower than the 16 when you go eat somewhere, other than people who want a personal pan they sell and they get the little 8, but that's usually for a child.
You want me to break this down for you? I delivered at the one on so my shop that I worked at was the one on West 12th Street, and there's multiple Pizza Kings in that area. You got Macedonia, you got that one. I think
Macedonia was the most frequented one we went to.
Well, I mean, that's a good location.
Yeah.
West 12th Street's dope because they make dough there. So they have a dough room there. So not all Pizza Kings make dough. They don't proof doughs there. Some people get their doughs on a commissary and it comes frozen, or like it comes in a certain way. So like you take it in. Some places have like a legit dough room.
Yeah.
The 12th Street Pizza place has a dough room, so they can make all that stuff legit on site. So therefore, sometimes those pizzas are going to be better. Now, that's not to say that your best experience is going to be there. Now, 12th Street has one of the largest delivery volumes in the area because it's just a massive delivery area, right? It's really
running. It's running.
a really big delivery area.
Yeah.
Whereas some have a tighter delivery area.
Yeah.
And you have certain things that are better and certain things that aren't. Like the dining experience at 12th wasn't my favorite, but it's not bad. If you want the best possible experience, I would say the Pizza King on South Tillotson and Muncie is probably going to be your best. They're just always on top of everything. Yeah. Like everything's just baller.
I've eaten there one time, or that I can remember lately eating there, and it was. Yeah, they own it.
Yeah, if I'm taking anybody to one, that's usually the one I'm going to. If it's nice not just a convenience option where I'm like,
they all got the same aesthetic, but some of them just a little nicer than others.
Yeah, that aesthetic.
You like stained glass, baby?
Yeah, that aesthetic is like 70s grandma's kitchen type shit. Like it's like stained glass, like booths.
Yeah.
And then they've got this weird shit where everything
all
has
the chandeliers.
They've all got these like old school rotary phones, and the whole thing is Ring the King. So you like call to the kitchen and order, even though you're in the.
Hey, I know. I went to Pizza King with some people who never been. They was like, "What's that phone there for?" Like you better call. You got to call your order.
Yeah, you're about to find out.
Yeah, they ain't coming to your table asking for the order.
Oh yeah,
they do sometimes, but no, they call that thing.
Oh yeah. And the menu's kind of all over the place. So you kind of have like you have your staple, you have your pizzas, you have your breadsticks, which are dope. You've got a couple different sandwiches. You got sub sandwiches. You got the Big Sur. You got a couple different things right there. You've also then you get into some weird shit. You got something called like a beef boat, which is kind of like a gravy boat. It's not. I don't like ordering that. You're just like, why?
Yeah.
Don't get
why
that.
Are you here?
Well, also it's gross. Like it's just I didn't like making them. I don't like eating them. Like it's just weird because it's like at the end of the day, it's kind of like a Manhattan.
Yeah.
But it's put in this little bowl and run through the pizza oven. It just doesn't seem great. I mean, to anybody that's obsessed with that, good for you.
Yeah.
But you are a rarity.
It's always weird to me when people go to a pizza place and order anything other than pizza, though.
Yeah. They also have spaghetti, which is weird.
Yeah, they got spaghetti. My daughter used to my daughter used to like getting it, then didn't like getting it because she hated the cheese on top for some reason. But then now she started eating the pasta salad from there. I'm over like, girl,
why did they get pasta salad there? That's again,
it's been there for a little while. I think. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, why is
why you want that? We eating pizza, girl.
Yeah,
I want them pasta salad from there. I'm like, girl, you are something wrong with you.
Yeah, they got salads. They've got all sorts of other stuff. But
I can kind of see getting a salad.
Because that's when you're just trying to church up. You're like, I'm just trying to break up the amount of pizza that I'm putting into my body. Oh, but why?
Mm-hmm. But how you order your breadsticks? Because that's a thing.
Okay.
People argue over that.
So there's a massive amount of customization that you can do at Pizza King, and and a lot of it's even facilitated by people that work there. So like the ovens have different doors, so you can either put it for a full bake, you can do a half bake, or you can do a 3/4. And so you can kind of like choose your bakeness, whether you want them to be like pretty firm or whether you want them to be rather chewy. You can also prefer how many brushes of dill butter you get on them.
Oh, I didn't know that now.
Oh, you can extra
I'd have been like, brush my shit up.
Yeah, you could say say an extra dill brush. You could do it. No problem.
Ooh, I'm going to start using that.
You can get wild. You can say no brush. Yeah. You can dill brush. You can double dill brush.
Hey, I love getting a bag of half-baked breadsticks, and them shits is like dripping. I'm like, ooh, who was in the kitchen today?
Yep. And then, man, to be honest, their garlic bread's pretty good too. The garlic cheese bread's fire. But like, so you can do all that stuff. You can doctor up sandwiches. You can do all sorts of things like that. Pizzas are kind of the same way. Another thing that a lot of people don't realize, and they may not know, is that the thin Pizza King pizza is not the only pizza. They have a deep dish.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that. So it's just called the pan pizza. So you can get like a pan of any version, and it's actually pretty fire.
Yeah, I've had it a couple times on Wheeling. Is there a Pizza King on Wheeling?
Yeah,
I had it over there.
The only thing I'd say about the one that's, I would only go to one that I would only get a pan pizza at a place that they make dough. That would be it. It's just.
But I didn't know there was differences in where they make the dough.
There's differences.
Getting the inside scoop on Pizza King.
Inside scoop.
We know y'all.
In every store, it's hilarious.
Who sung that song? That's what I want to know.
I have no idea.
He was jamming, boy.
Yeah.
He was getting that satisfied.
Yeah. Like the ads for Pizza King
are jazzy.
Like, and they just keep it all the time. It's running all the time. They never update it.
When you watch that commercial, it looks like it's on an old like Zenith TV.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
Like you can just feel the static on your fingers.
It's the opposite of HD. Yeah. It is low D.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It is not high def.
They saving money on that, but boy, listen, boy, if Pizza King is a tax time food.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that. Man. Pizza King's interesting because like if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and that is like the motto. It's interesting now because I've been away from it for so long that now it makes me laugh because when we started having like people like reevaluating like their labor situation and whether or not they want to work in service or whatnot, they've kind of had to adapt because people had to compete over employees a little bit more. Yeah. And when I was there, like employees were you were disposable.
Yeah.
Quite disposable. Yeah. But now like I'll see billboards and they're like Pizza King careers. And
I
was like, nah, man.
Homie.
That is not how my situation went down at all. Like I still, now full disclosure, I still eat there. I still get stuff there, but like we're gonna break down a number of antiquated stories from like back in the day when I used to work for this place. So I worked there with a couple of different friends for a number of years. And like, so I'm a business owner now, and my wife and I run a cafe, and we also roast and ship coffee all over the country. And a lot of how we built our management like our management styles and stuff were basically taken from places that we didn't like. So we backwards engineer it from how we were treated poorly at different jobs and like make it better. And at Pizza King, it was hilarious. So like my first day when I got hired, they do these like hiring camps, or they used to, and they would just like kind of get a ton of people. They'd run an ad in the paper and they'd get like a ton of people in there. I just got in because one of my friends was a delivery driver and he was like, "Hey, you want in?" I was like, "Tight." So you have to go in there.
Yeah.
Well, what they do is the training day is madness.
Yeah.
So they basically scheduled my first day like on a Friday, like where it's like pretty
most
busy.
hype. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they just throw you in the kitchen. No training. and they just like put you in there, and it's stress, dude. Like it's stress because you're in everybody's way. You have no idea what the protocol is.
You're over there like,
you can't help anybody, and nobody's talking to you.
Yeah,
they're all just like busting ass because they're trying to fill as many. Like it's like a massive order volume, and you're just trying not to run into anybody, and also not trying to look stupid, and trying to be somewhat helpful, and like people just walk out, and then like. If you get to the end of that and you didn't walk out, they're like, okay, your training maybe.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Yeah, we put you through the fire.
Yeah, you didn't leave, so let's see what happens. And then they kind of like schedule you on some slower days and you try to figure it out, but they basically just trial by fire, scare the shit out of you and try to get you to leave. I don't know if they're all like that, but that's like the experience I had, and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, so like we did that, and I got in and we started getting trained on different stuff, and like the delivery drivers at the store that I worked at like kind of run the show. You basically like you're making pizzas, you're taking pizzas, you're doing all sorts of stuff, and really you're at the liberty of like you have this person that works the oven, and they're your expediter. Yeah. And your expo, if they're not any good, really screws the whole situation. But if they're on that shit, everything works great.
Yeah, it runs fluid.
It gets great. But yeah, like so we did that stuff and. Learned how to do all these pizzas and things, man. But it was also really funny too, because like the work environment was really hilarious. Like you're doing normal pizza stuff. It's a pizza job, folding boxes. You're making pizzas and you're doing stuff, and you have to fold a lot of boxes. Yeah, you get really quick at it too. So we'd have races to see who could do it faster without getting paper cuts and shit. But like there was also like because that shop. That particular store would do these big batch hiring situations. They would bring in like tons of people at a time, and that would happen periodically, even if you already worked there. And so you'd just be like, some weeks you'd come in there and there'd just be like tons of people at that store, and then they'd disperse to other stores. But they kind of at the time would trap certain people a little bit. Like they did stuff that was kind of interesting. So they like have this pizza system with how you make a pizza that at the time it was all color coordinated. So all the ingredients are added by cups, and the cups are colored. Yeah. So you have like different colored cups for different ingredients. So they're like, an 8-inch pizza gets the small red cup of pepperoni, the small red cup of cheese. Like everything's measured, and it's freakishly meticulous. Like you have to put the ingredients in the cup, and then you got to like turn your hand with your pinky up, and you have to smooth it, scrape it out. And if
they like we making sure we utilize.
You'd have thought
least amount to maximize what we putting on the pizza. Like we don't want to put too much because we saving money.
It's money, and it's their argument would be it's about consistency too. So everybody's experience is going to be roughly the same, but it's mostly like cost and stuff. Let's be real. Yeah. And so like they're making sure
you got 1 grain of cheese on this joint, you could have knocked that off.
So like, and there will be somebody like, okay, so there'd be these general managers at the time. For all I know, none of these people work there anymore, but they might. Yeah. They come through.
What's their names right now?
We're not doing it. We're not doing any of that. But there might be this situation where like you're coming through and like you're like, some of us have been working there for like a long time. And I'll be over there and I'll be making a pizza real quick, and then I'll like do one of these, and they're like, no, you didn't. Dump it out and do it again. And then they come over and they're like, and it's the exact same thing you just did, but you got to do it again. And
they're just a power flex.
Oh, all the time. So there's this dude that used to come in all the time. And the dude would always come in. He'd be like, we're coming in, we're wearing aprons, man. And you're busting ass. You're getting pizzas out like crazy. You're going to get sauce on you. You're going to be red. You're going to have stuff all over you. This dude always like looked spotless. Yeah. He'd come in. And the other thing about Pizza King is really weird. You can't have any facial hair, but you can rock a mustache.
That's weird.
It's dumb.
That's just show you how dated it was, at least back then.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure it's probably the same way.
Everybody's like, who knows? Mustache. Like, are you a cop?
Right. But then there'd be these people that just own that mustache. And this dude had like this perfectly pristine mustache. Yeah.
Couldn't mess with mine. Look at it.
Yeah. Dude,
I'm looking around. Boy, this boy's scraggly.
I'm not pulling off a mustache. I'd be baby face before I pull off a mustache.
Matter of fact, I need to trim my joint up. Hey, sometimes I'll be, let me see if I can get me a little handlebar
twirls.
Hold up.
Doing the twirls. He's over here just.
Did a handlebar?
He looked like a villain.
Yeah.
That's great. But man. So this guy come in and he's always like perfectly like.
My fingers smell like garlic from the last episode.
Smell like garlic, man.
We was messing with garlic the last episode. My fingers smell like it.
Now he's smelling good.
Smell like a good pizza.
But yeah. This dude would come in and he'd just be so pristine. So I started calling him GQ Mike because he always comes in and like we're all slopped up and he comes in just looking like he's never even gotten anything on. Like he's a guy that can wear white pants and never get anything on him. Anyway,
is it because he really wasn't doing nothing, or was he doing a lot and just very to the point and being careful?
Yeah, he was just like somehow he'd never get anything on him. So I just call him GQ Mike, and he was like a training coordinator that would go to different stores. Yeah, and he would come in. But the funny thing was, man, me and my buddies work there, and we work there all the time. So like we were always joking around and stuff. I was younger, so I was a little more pain in the ass. So we would make it this point. So like what he would do is like if he'd see like. So they have very specific ways that you have to like sauce pizzas. Like you have this like spatula and you have to like move it away from you in a perfect thing while you're rotating a pizza. And you have to do this like, now if you're making pizzas and you're in a hurry, you can get a perfectly even thing by being real quick with it. But if he it's like he had to just constantly exert that he was training. So like he would constantly be like, no, you want to do this. And he would like come in there. So I would make it a game where I would talk to my buddy and I'd be like, man, I bet I can get him to at least sauce 5 pizzas while I'm on shift. Yeah. So we would just like purposely.
Like, man, I just can't get it.
Yeah. No, you didn't even have to say that. You would just do it off to an angle, and he'd be like, "Oh no, you want to do this." And I was like, "Oh man, is that how you do it?"
Yeah.
So we would just constantly do that shit. See how many times I could get him to sauce a pizza on my shift. Man, I'd get it up at like double digits. Sometimes.
I bet. I'd do that shit too.
Oh, it's so good. But yeah, so you just had like weird stuff like that where people are always power flexing on you and coming in. And then our register had kind of messed up, and like I was expecting for them because like they have really good margins on their products. Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, they're gonna come in and they're gonna replace the cash register. Nah, son, they taped a calculator to the wall. And that was the replacement for the register for whenever you dialed in. So like at Pizza King, they would have these situations where like you'd call in and they're like, okay, we'll call you back with your total. And like we're out there like with the calculator, like trying to get this shit figured out. It was hilarious. But you know, aside from that, you know, they're very strict to their protocols. Like we had one point in time, like you can modify a lot of foods like we were talking about. And at one point in time, we had modified a sandwich. So they have this thing called the Big Sur, which is kind of like this like 8-inch sub style sandwich. And it's like a chicken sandwich, but we would modify it. So like it's kind of like a chicken club sandwich, like in its default form. But we started doing stuff like we would take like, okay, what if you add a red cup of pepperoni, a red cup of like ranch dressing, a red cup of nacho cheese, do that on top of it, and then make the rest of it the way you would. Yeah. So we started adding that, and we would make it so much that we were like, we got to add this to the menu. Yeah. So we had this little side mod where it would tell the total mod cost.
Here's this. Every once in a while, you might want to try this kind of thing.
And we just like called it suggestion. It ended up being called the Legendary. And so it was like on there. And I remember it'd been on there for like a month and a half, and somebody came in. One of the general managers came in and was like, "What is this?" Yeah. He like ripped it off the menu.
This ain't cost effective.
Yeah, it was like, well, it was just like, well, it was paid for. It was exactly what it was costing. Okay. Like we didn't skimp him, but he was just mad that it wasn't like corporate. So he like ripped the piece of tape off and was like making a big point about it. Like they would do that stuff. And then the other thing was like if say somebody ordered a pizza and then they just didn't come get it, or like something happened and it was a mistake and we couldn't sell it. You would stack a pizza on top of the oven to keep it warm. So like to-go orders you'd put on top of an oven to keep warm, so when people were coming in it would still be ready. Well, like somebody made a mistake. I mean, we're all broke working at this pizza joint. We're trying to eat. So, like, we'd be up there, and they'd come in and, like, throw that in the trash. We're like, well, why can't we just save it? He's like, no, because then you'll be making mistakes on purpose, so you get pizzas. And we're like, that's literally not what we're doing, but okay. So then he'd put the pizza in the trash, and then, because we're still broke, he's like, that's not enough. He'd dump a pitcher of water on top of it.
You was talking about that.
Yeah, we were like, dude, come on, man.
Yeah, I've been shitty.
Oh, dude, we were just like, we'd be looking at it, we'd be like, oh, that's cold.
Yeah, what else are we going to mess up now because you want to do that?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
We took out all that aggression on the cookie jar. So Pizza King also has cookies on their menu. They're like these super thin, really wide chocolate chip cookies. They also do snickerdoodles too. They're both okay. But
they sit by the register usually sometimes.
They're in like a Tupperware. But like you can't sell broken ones. Those become kitchen food.
Yeah.
But anyway, nobody's easy with that jar. Like you, somebody's like, we're gonna need a cookie. Somebody gets it out, and it's like, you're like, fucking, you're banging that shit around. Yeah. You break like 9 cookies in that thing. Like that's kind of how you're like throwing it across the room. Somebody's catching it. Like so there's always like cookie shards everywhere. Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Yeah,
it's the little things.
Got to get at them some way.
It's like, come on, the little things.
Yeah.
The other pro tip I have.
Messing up our trash pizza.
Oh, dude. Pouring the water on it?
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing?
Speaking of added and stuff, I remember when I was in IU for a little bit, when I used to go get lunch, it was like a little cafeteria joint over there. I would get, I used to get this chicken wrap, right? It was like a little crispy chicken wrap, right? And I go to another table, or another little thing, and they sold like fried chicken and like mashed potatoes and gravy, and I was like, it was all the same spot, but I was like, all right, I know you making my chicken wrap, but put mashed potatoes and gravy on it.
In it.
It was like a barbecue chicken wrap.
Yes.
But I was like, put mashed potatoes and gravy in my chicken wrap.
Right.
For a while they was doing it because I was like, I'm just gonna pay for the mashed potatoes and gravy. Just add it to the thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you where to put it. Yeah. Just gonna add it to it. So they would do it for a while. They was doing this, and that was my jam every time, baby. A little barbecue chicken wrap with mashed potatoes and gravy. Yeah. So it's like one time I went and they was like, we can't do that. I was like, I get this all the time. I was like, I'm trying to explain. I'm paying for the mashed potatoes and gravy, right? Like you gonna put it on the receipt that I got mashed potatoes and gravy, right? Okay, put that shit in my wrap.
Nah,
that's all I'm asking you. It's right here. It's my wrap is open.
Compute.
Yeah, they was like, oh, we can't do that. I was like, man, I never went there again.
Oh,
that's probably why I left IU. I couldn't get my.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. But yeah, that was just like one of them things you was talking like. No, we was making something good. Listen, y'all ain't got to put it on the meat. That's just for me. I'm the only person that asked for that. I ain't about. Everybody ain't want mashed potatoes and gravy.
When you got it in the register, I mean, like that. Yeah, I get it.
They cut it. That cross section was just so like, I'm about to tear this up, man.
Man, that makes me want that right now.
It was delicious.
That sounds.
It kind of reminded me of You remember so when the bowls from KFC? It was like little crispy chicken and like corn and mashed potatoes, and it kind of was like that, but way better. You know what I'm saying? But
man, that sounds delicious. Now I want that. But yeah, man, I'm trying to think of other pro tips that would be good for ordering certain things that like. There's certain things that get ordered, and if they order it, somebody worked there. One of them is if you order like a royal feast and you ask for it without like red peppers. Yeah. So the way that they do royal feasts, which is basically like that's a supreme basically at any other place. Yeah.
But it's a heavy pizza.
It's a beast,
man.
It's got mushrooms. It's got onions. It's got red peppers. It's got green peppers. It's got pepperoni. It's got sausage.
It'll frighten a child. The child look at that. They like, that's what we eating that.
Yep. And so, like,
that's an adult pizza right there.
You ask for it without red peppers, it means that they can't. So usually, all those ingredients are like pre-mixed in a bucket, and it's not bad. But every once in a while, that bucket sits for a little bit, it gets a little moisture. And it's just not as cool looking because you got mushrooms and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, what you can do is be like, man, I want a royal feast, but I don't want red peppers. They got to assemble that shit from fresh. Yeah. You got to go from each of the individual
So anytime, because the most thing people going to ask for to take off is the mushrooms. So if you ask for it without mushrooms, they
Same
like,
thing.
Damn, I got to make all this shit fresh.
Yup.
Or at least that's how it used to be.
Yeah. I guarantee it's still that way. Yeah, that part, I'm sure it's still a pain in the ass.
Does all of them have a Pac-Man machine and a jukebox?
Nah.
All of them got a jukebox though, right?
I think so. I don't know,
the little digital CD jukebox.
I don't even know what's going on at 12th Street anymore. I'd have to go in there. It's been a minute. I go to the Tilton one now all the time.
Yeah. I just remember going to Pizza King all the time. Like, who over here paying for music to play in the background?
Nobody.
You know what I'm saying? But I was paying for that Pac-Man.
But I'll tell you what though, they'll pressure you into it because otherwise they'll leave that shit eerily quiet.
Yeah.
There is no ambient anything. Yeah. It'll just be noise. You'll hear people chewing.
You're just looking at people driving on all them windows, looking at me run over and stuff.
Yeah. They got the aesthetic of like a 90s Wendy's.
Yeah. It's all,
The racks. Yeah. It's like they bought an old racks and they turned it into
And it's like sepia tone in there.
Yeah.
It's like all of it has that kind of like amber tone to it because all the stained glass and all the windows and all
and
the,
you're gonna
the
have
lighting.
A barrage of like fake plants.
Yeah.
So with dust on them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pizza King is dope though, but it's like
they don't have to change. They don't. They don't know you're gonna
get
it
because if you're from Indiana, especially from Muncie, it's like they got you hooked, and it's almost like if you're dedicated to Muncie, or dedicated to Indiana, you dedicated to Pizza King.
They coming. Yeah. They got you. They don't even care.
Like when my sister moved out, I'm assuming they didn't have one in Napa at the time or where she was at, and she was like, she would love coming back to get Pizza King. You know what I mean? Or my mom bringing a Pizza King.
They send that shit frozen to people, man.
Yeah.
That's how crazy
now
it is.
That's new though.
Yeah.
Or fairly new.
I mean, they did that back when I worked there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do it on dry ice. They just send it out, man. They're crazy.
Know that. I know they did start like a few years back. They started doing where you can get a pizza made on top of them breadsticks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, they get wild, man.
Yeah.
They got all sorts of stuff these days. Like, but yeah, the fanaticism is crazy, and part of it I think is just like it's how you interact with it. It's all these the ways that you can customize it, and yeah, it's polarizing though because people either love it or they hate it. There's not people that are like, I kind of like Pizza King,
but you got to know the dedication because the price.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
the price of pizza. You buy one pizza and some drinks and some breadsticks, or not even them drinks. You can mess around and spend $40 on one pizza at Pizza King.
Yeah.
It's crazy. A pizza and a breadstick, you spend at least $40, baby.
They're like, hey man, we got coupons, and those coupons will make it still more expensive than other pizza. That's how it goes.
Oh my God, why is it so? Hey, this was my thing. Anytime, especially tax time,
you gotta keep that family on payroll, bro.
We going to Pizza King. These was my two to goes when I have a little extra money. It was Pizza King and Blondie's cookies because them shits was expensive. Hey, I used to always joke like, "Hey, girl, we got some extra money. Let's splurge," and I'll go get some damn cookies. Yeah. But now our Blondie's closed because our mall is dying like every other mall in the world. Yeah, but they had and I'm pretty sure Blondie's sold by weight. And them cookies were heavy and so delicious. I'm gonna look up I'm gonna learn to make a Blondie's cookie because it was
they used that crystal sugar.
Yeah, and it was like a shortbread. A heavy shortbread cookie that was real soft and kind of chewy. But their classic cookie, their stuff was like super sweet, but salty too.
Quincy's over here getting way too excited about these cookies. Dude, I see it in his eyes.
Like literally last year for my birthday, my brother-in-law, my sister bought me a thing of Blondie's cookies from Nap and brought it because we ain't gotten it. And I was like, "Can y'all get me these cookies?"
Yeah, that's what I want. Mailed on a regular basis.
Oh my goodness! And they were shaped like Easter eggs because my birthday in March, so they still got Easter shit popping off. But listen, man, hey, Blondie's cookies. Okay. Oh my goodness! But yeah, those was my two splurges, and I knew because they was both so expensive.
Man. Okay, now we're getting in. So when I was delivering, man, that's the thing. So the first of the month. Popping.
Yeah.
Popping. I'm busy. Yeah. There's a lot happening.
It's like Pizza King's like the bank. The first and the third, you're going to be busy.
Dude, you are not joking. It is insane. Like we would deliver and like the things would be the priorities don't even make sense. So like the crazy thing about like delivering on 12th Street, there's like it's the entire representation of like Muncie. Yeah. Like you have like really wealthy neighborhoods, you have like dilapidated neighborhoods, and you've got like everything in between. Yeah. And dude, I have so many stories from like delivering. Like,
I honestly feel like not trying to be rude, but like the brokest areas in Muncie eat the most Pizza King.
No, that's very real.
Like for real.
And they do it, and sometimes it's like questionably why, because like that's a lot of the money.
Yes.
And like the thing is man, you'll go to like
they buying Pizza King and a carton of cigarettes.
Dude, you're not wrong. Like I would deliver to houses and like they wouldn't have a front door. Yeah. And like the elements are inside. Kids aren't clothed all the way. Yeah. And like they're buying like $30 worth of Pizza King. I'm like, what? I'm like, why is this a thing? I'll tell you one thing that was crazy though. So there was a rainstorm. I bought this used Honda Accord at the time.
Is this back in the day when the bridge used to flood underneath?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I was driving this used Accord, and it was in fairly good shape. And then one time, you said that flood, and I don't know if you just knew.
Well,
I was driving.
It's a Muncie thing.
And I went through some water.
Yeah.
And it ripped off one of my hubcap covers. Ooh. I never found it.
I believe it.
But then my tips went up because I was missing the hubcap.
Yeah.
So then I took them all off. And then I made more money.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then I just never had hubcaps again.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm good on this.
Yeah.
And also, I looked at how much a single hubcap cover costs. If you get a factory replacement, one hubcap cover is like $100. Yeah, I just gave pretty much. I gave up on that shit. I was like, hey, like at the time, $100. I was like, what?
Yeah,
you're insane. I'm never doing this again.
I got an old. I've talked about it. My old Cadillac, and it comes with like these Cadillac like covers.
Yeah,
like
the spoke covers. I know what you're talking about.
They come with them joints. Those joints are expensive.
Right.
And they lock. Like, you lock your hub. I'm like, what? Like, people stealing these?
Yeah.
They're expensive, man.
They're like commemorative decorative plates.
Yeah, and they're heavy, too. I'm like,
yeah.
It's not this is a hubcap, but it's a Cadillac hubcap, and it's so expensive.
Oh, yeah. When I found that out, I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah,
they're all off, and I'm making more money. So I was delivering around all these places. And like just to break down some, like, I know this is getting away from we're going on the tangent.
Do it.
Delivery tangents.
Yeah.
This one time, I mean, I can't even. It's hard to limit like all these drive-through stores because there's so many. But one of them, I went to this place, and it was like the address was like a number and then a third. I was like, how the fuck do you live in a third of a place?
Yeah.
What does that mean? So I'm like trying to find this place, and it's like ends up being this, like, it's like raining, and there's this like super shady, like you go back through this thing, and then there's like this sketchy stairwell that goes up to the back of this house where nobody sees you. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
This is where I die. Great. So I like walk up these sketchy stairs, are creaking, slick because it has that weird like moss on it. So it's like you're not supposed to be going on these.
No. Has anybody walked on them?
I don't know, man. So I got up to the top. I go in there, I knock on the door, and the door opens, and this guy's just
I think you went to Fern Gully.
Man,
you go to Fern Gully delivering these pizzas?
Fern Gully would have been nice. This dude answers the door, and he's got like a cast on one hand. And like, there's like just stuff. There's like hoarders. Like it was everywhere. And he's like, "Hey, come on in." And I'm like, "I'm good." But like, he's like, "Well, I gotta go get the money." And I was like, "Oh, fun."
Yeah.
So like, you kind of like walk in. I keep the door to my back, and then like, luckily there was a wall right behind the door, so I knew there was nothing on that side.
Yeah.
And so I kept my back to the corner because you never want to like have your back uncovered. So. Back up to the door, walking in. I'm like, okay, cool. Guy comes in, he's got a dog, and he ordered like, it was like a 14-inch pizza, and like that was all I got. So I come in there, he's going to get the money, and then he's like, okay, just hand me that pizza. I was like, all right, cool. So he goes and he grabs the money, and he comes back, and he has this can of like weird, questionable food, and he's like eating it with a spoon.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to open the pizza and sets it on the ground and feeds it to his dog. And he's eating this like weird, nasty shit out of a can. And I'm just sitting there just like mouth wide open, just like, what is going
Bye, sir.
on?
Enjoy your meal.
I got that money, and I was like, I'm out. I'm not going to step on these stairs like, I just had to go.
Yeah, you would have slid there.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, man, it was crazy. So it'd be that. There were places, like, not to be... If you're eating anything, I apologize. But there is places I'd deliver to that their dogs would be like, they obviously had fighting dogs.
Yeah.
And they'd have like open wounds. Yeah. You could smell them.
Yeah.
Like it was disgusting.
Yeah. There was a lot of spots around where I lived at, like you can go watch some dog fights.
Right.
Yeah.
But like I had not, I wasn't anticipating being able to smell said wounds. Like I could smell infection.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, these dogs need help.
Yeah, and yet, like, I'm just giving them pizza. Like, I was just like, okay, well, this is weird.
Well, he must have won the fight because he getting a royal feast.
He's good.
Yeah.
So then I'd, like, leave there, and then you delivered what's some other stuff that was kind of crazy. There was I mean, just to show, like, the amount of money that people would splurge. There was this place on Walnut Street. It's been, like, they've turned it into new housing now, and it's amazing because I'm just like, I would never go in that building again. When I went in there, it had like I could tell you the address, but I'm not trying to give it away.
No. I'm trying to think in my little brain what's going on.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
But anyway, there was this place that you'd walk in, and like, dude, it was one of those situations that if anybody got that delivery,
see that cold chill?
Oh yeah, see, you're getting, you know what's coming up. But it was one of those places that if you got that delivery, you'd be like, hey, I'll give you $5 of my tips if you want to take this one.
Yeah,
like you didn't want to go.
Oh no, I feel that. I know a lot of homies that would rob pizza dudes.
Oh,
like that's a common, any delivery person back in the day. Which was mainly pizzas, but you better be careful where you was going. Even if it was a proper address, they didn't care.
Oh no,
because especially if somebody else was ordering to somebody else's house, they'd meet you at the house. They get in that pizza and whatever tip, because back then you carrying your cash, and your tips, and they like, give me that pizza, give me them tips.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
I know.
you had to be careful. I know a lot of people. That's how I got a PlayStation 2 back in the day. Hey man, I need a PlayStation 2 high 50 for you.
Yeah.
Where you getting it?
Right.
That's I don't need to know all the deets, but I'm gonna tell you what I need, baby.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it got dicey. So like, I would go to yeah, man, this place was weird, man. So like, I remember going in and like, it was one of those places that you had the money count, like the change already counted out, because you knew that you were gonna get paid to the penny. What it was gonna be. And also, it was one of those places that like you would like keep your windows down and you'd want the money out because the money stank. Yeah. Like sometimes you get money that stinks so bad you don't even want to touch it. Like that's the type of shit we're doing.
You get a Ziploc bag for these tips.
Yeah, I went to this place. I can't even make this up. Like we would go in there and there was a place where there was a gentleman that was very large, and he was like bedbound, and he would just have a sheet on him, and you would just be like, all you would hear is money's on the table, and you'd be like, okay, so you grab the money and just leave the pizza on, and the last thing you're thinking is like, this I want to give money to this. And the same place that does that, like when I would get a delivery, there's this lady, she was like a skeleton, she was like super, I don't know, like, somebody's gonna have to fill me in. If you want to write in, if you happen to know this, I would like to know. But I don't know what drugs get smoked out of bicycle tire frames.
Probably any. As long as you can heat that joint up, probably any.
That's what I'm saying. So I came into this place.
What'd you say? A bicycle frame?
Tire frame.
Tire.
So okay,
like the rim.
Yeah, the rim, and then it's bent in like a half moon. Okay. And then it's torched on one side. I'm like, you didn't have a pop can?
No. A bike tire.
Yeah, what? So like that shit was happening, and like
any Frank. This is just keep it at any.
Zero teeth. Like it was just a weird stitch. I was like,
I can name a lot if we in Muncie.
Yeah. So like it was just that. Those were the types of experience. I mean, it was quite an educational experience to be honest. Because before that, I worked at a gas station, and it was like.
That's sketchy.
You'd have stuff come to you.
But
now I'm going.
You going to them.
So like it was interesting, and
that's what I told my daughter when getting a job. I said, "Girl, you'll never work at a gas station."
No, it's not fun.
Nowadays, any place getting robbed, but a gas station or a bank, you damn near guaranteed. You wanting to get robbed?
And I was at a gas station that you could get out of town real quick. It was like the last gas station before you got to the highway.
They getting you.
Yeah, you're done.
And back then, there probably wasn't too much glass in front of you either.
No, I was not protected. But yeah, so I would deliver to all these different places. There's this one place that was also like, there's some places that try to seduce you. Like this one like lady that way out in the boonies, like I don't know what's going on. With that
they
house.
Trying to get a free pizza.
Yeah, every time she was just kind of like, so what are you doing? I'm working.
I'm delivering pizzas.
Like, no, don't want to hang out. I'm trying to make money. Like I'm out of here. And then, do you remember on the south side, Muncie used to be home to 2 strip clubs. Do you remember the Dream Club?
I don't remember the Dream Club. I just remember the Joker's Wild.
Well, Joker's was upscale compared to the Dream Club.
Okay.
Dream
Club had a dream of being Jokers.
Oh, yeah. Now, you talk about getting robbed. Dream Club was a place that if you were going to go in and make a delivery, you had to be quick because somebody's going to jack your stereo before you got out, like every time. Like you usually run people off if that happens. It'd always be some like shady white dude like trying to get into your car. But so they
trying to open your door, but your window's down, but they can't figure out. They like, I'll get in here.
You're gonna steal a factory cassette deck. Good luck, man. It's not gonna fit in anything. Word. But so paint the scene on this. They had a window that faced, I believe it was Madison. And the dance floor was on the window, so the idea
so you could see a little bit.
Yeah, the idea was kind of nice. You had you had a little bit of window. You had the silhouette. You'd see a backlit. So you wouldn't see anything.
So they trying to entice you to come in.
Absolutely,
Makes
that's
sense.
the idea. The actual situation, far worse. So I had a delivery to a person that went by the name Platinum. So first of all, I'm delivering pizza to Platinum.
Yeah.
I show up to the place.
Proper name. Name.
Absolutely.
I agree with it.
So I showed up. That window is busted out.
Oh.
It's snowing outside.
Okay, so they letting the breeze in. I get it.
They kind of put.
Is there a winter theme?
Yeah. They had kind of put this like Viz Queen like plastic drapes up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And but they weren't like taped proper, so it's
they're flowing.
It's flowing.
So they got a haunted house vibe in there.
Absolutely,
I feel that. Yeah.
They're still dancing.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thing:
is this October though?
Nah, dog. This is like February. It is cold. It is real cold. I'm wrapped.
Yeah.
And so I'm going in there, and I'm like, okay, I got a pizza for Platinum. And like she comes around, and it's like one of those situations where the outfit's like probably like 20 times smaller. So like, you know, when your circulation's all cut off, like the sleeve stops, but your skin
all her
blows out
veins are probably popping.
Oh yeah. So they come over and they get pizza, and there's snow on the stage.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of creepy old looking dudes in there with winter coats on.
They got earmuffs on.
Yeah. I was just like, what is happening? And then when I got done, they gave me exact money, but they tried to tip me in whiskey. I was like, I drove here.
Yeah.
I'm driving still. And also, I'm 19.
Yeah.
It's like, I cannot do any of these
I don't even
things.
know if I'm allowed to deliver this pizza.
I think I was supposed to have you come outside. Like, I don't know. That place is long gone, so nobody's getting in trouble now. But, yeah, I mean, it was crazy. But, you know, that's a bunch of asides to like show you the type of situation that's going on with like people just splurging. Yeah, they got you. Man. They got you hooked. Yeah, like you're gonna do whatever you can to hustle.
Yeah, something's in Pizza King that some people probably want to hate on it just because they're like, this is. But nah, man, Pizza King good as hell.
It's pretty tasty.
It's its own thing. Like it don't taste like no other pizzas, man.
Yeah,
it just.
I had all these weird experiences. I still order that shit.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's the business.
I deal with it.
Now, I'd say, I'm not talking about nothing else, but it's like Pizza King was the business, but One More Muncie Pizza, that was the business to me. I used to get it every time, and that shit would put me to sleep. I don't know what was in this pizza, but it would put me to sleep every time.
Are you talking about?
You talking about T-Dubs?
Yeah.
T-Dubs was the business, man. That pizza was so good to me. Like, but every time I'd eat it, I'd fall asleep. Instantly. But I don't know how to. And after, like, when they close, they end up putting a like little recipe on a little thing, like on Facebook or something. You can get on there and get the recipe. But man, T-Dub's Pizza. I don't know who the guy was, T-Dub apparently, but it was some white dude, and he opened it on the south side over there on the. Is that on Walnut?
It's where Steak City
is now.
Oh, I've been there.
And it was good, man. Yeah. That was some good pizza.
We used to go to the Fickle Peach all the time and get that stuff, like that bar, and then we'd have it delivered there.
Yeah.
And man, it was really funny because I love that place because I think his wife was the delivery driver, and she'd be ripped to the tits when she showed like super stoned. And I loved it, man. She was so sweet, but she's just like, "I got your pizza," and I'm like, "Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
bring that shit over here."
She made my wife laugh really hard. We were bowling one time, and we ordered pizza, and like Lauren was like telling her on the phone, she was like, well, how do I know which ones are you? And she's like, well, I'm the one. Or like, she was like saying something. She was like, yeah, we'll be the ones in the like, in the green hoodie. And she's like, cool. I'm the one with the pizza.
Yeah.
We just like, yeah. And you could get like a cheeseburger pizza. They had a tater tot pizza.
Yeah, man, they pizza was good. Hey, the hood accepted T-Dubs, man. That Southside was like, hey, T-Dubs all the way. But then they just closed out of nowhere. I was like, what happened? Because I felt, now, maybe they weren't popping like that. But to me, everybody who I talked to was digging on some T-Dubs, man. And they weren't expensive, but they was a little higher up there. But they quality was good.
There's a couple ways. There's only a few ways to succeed in business, but there's a million ways to fail.
It's the area too. You was in kind of a bad area. It's a rough area right there.
That's not the most consumer friendly district.
Heck no.
That little strip is dangerous.
And I was about to say, now I don't know, but they probably got robbed right there. Honestly, because that's the whole reason. If you ever go in there now, well, before, it was so much plexiglass everywhere because that area, like that spot, was known for getting robbed. Whatever opened there, people was robbing them.
Yeah.
So it was like, I don't know, but T-Dubs was the shit.
What was it before Steak City? It was like Mama's or something.
Yeah, it was another chicken joint. It's one of them places.
It was a soul food place. What was the soul food place first?
I don't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I remember dining in there a few times and being like, this is a little sketch.
Yes. Because it was like one half of it was like a little diner area. And then the other was like, they had it kind of like a...
And the kitchen was like, it doubled as a panic room. So like you're in the main room eating.
Everything was plexiglass. Shit, I wish I can get into the kitchen if something pop off. Because everything was plexiglass.
I took my brother there. I remember us going there and it was just like, it was real weird. Yeah. It was all right though.
It was a good, but that's a spot, like... You know it's a rough one. Everything is
I need my soul food with a bit of danger.
Yeah. Now it's a that chicken little Steak City joint, which mainly I call it a chicken spot because that's their main thing.
It is chicken.
But it's like they kind of took away some of the plexiglass because I feel like they feel like they got a little rep now. I don't know, but we'll see. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They've been there for a minute.
Yeah, that strip mall is
I think there's like a little church there now. It was always something over there. There was always something, but that little spot keep opening food places and kept closing down.
Is Zip still there though?
No, that's further down. It used to be Zips over there by that liquor store. That was Madison.
Honestly,
that was Madison.
I feel like you're right. I'm thinking about
but they used to be Zips, and they used to have. I used to work masonry while I was a hod carrier. If anybody know what a hod carrier is, I was carrying bricks and mixing mortar all the time, all day. Got big boy on that stuff.
Yeah, man.
But every day for lunch, I'll go there. I'll get me a big ass whoop juice, probably orange or red, whatever color suited me at the time.
Calories did not matter to you.
Didn't matter. And I get chicken fried rice with or egg fried rice with like 4 chicken wings. Man,
didn't they sell
because it was some Asian ladies. It was
there?
Some Asian ladies working there, huh?
Did they sell chicken livers and shit there too?
Yeah.
I think I got those there.
They were good. They was frying up some stuff. It was 2 Asian ladies always in there, and they was doing their damn thing, boy. I get that egg fried rice with like 4 chicken wings. Oh, and drink me a big old whoop juice. I get a whoop juice, or I get the big what was it, like a 32-ounce Faygo orange joint, and I'll be back there. Look. Oh man, dang. I needed the energy. You know what I mean? I was working from sun up to sundown, pretty much.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, calories ain't a thing at that point.
Nah. Man, I know we was talking about Pizza Cave, but
yeah, now we just kind of moved into a whole area. We'll have to do a whole Muncie history.
Yeah, we got to do a Muncie history on good places.
Some homage to the liquor stores you can cash your checks at. Yeah. Because that's a sitch.
Yeah, that was the thing. Or Marsh back in the day.
Oh yeah, man. Pizza King has a hold in every single one of these neighborhoods. Though. Yeah. That's the thing. Whereas you're mentioning T-Dubs that had that reach, they had to try to service an entire city.
Yeah, because Ball State, I know they was reaching all the way out to Ball State.
Yeah.
Like you can get stuff for...
Dude, they delivered to my dad has a probably on the 15 minutes north. And they delivered out there. Yeah. I was like, that's insane.
They was stretching it. But they stuff was good.
I would tip them
I feel like I never had a bad pizza from there.
Nah.
But,
it was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pizza King decided instead of just having that, they just opened a Pizza King. It's like, man, do we have one 3 miles from here? No, do it.
Buy the building with the most windows. That's where we're putting it.
Absolutely. It's so crazy. There's so many of them. They just pop up everywhere. It's crazy. But it's a loyal following, and it is a cult-like following.
Yeah.
And it's still delicious. So if you don't like Pizza King, that sucks for you. I'm sorry. You should probably get over it. Just admit it's good.
Yeah, admit it, man.
It's okay.
Yeah, people gonna fight you over Greeks and.
That's what I was gonna say. It's in Muncie. You're gonna have the Greeks. You're gonna have Pizza King, and I don't mind me some Greeks.
No, Greeks is good. They breadsticks soaked in all that dang butter and garlic, oil, whatever, and whatever, man.
I'll give you the quick pro tip on Greeks too. If you want the quick pro tip, one, that sauce is a sweet sauce.
Yes.
It is a candy sauce. So if you're into sweet sauces, that's going to be your jam. My only beef with Greeks is that if you just order the pizza as is, it tends to be a little
floppy and soggy.
Erectile dysfunction. That dude is not alert.
It's a fork pizza. If you I
learned something. You can order those pizzas well done.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm gonna ask that next time.
That changes the game.
Yeah.
I told my assistant
they do
at the
be
roaster,
soggy, man.
I told Pete about that stuff, and it changed his game.
Yeah.
Because now when you get a well done pizza, dude, it's just like a normal.
Because I like their buffalo pizza.
Yeah,
they buffalo pizza the business, but yeah, that joint is so much stuff in there that you pick it up, it's like.
So here's the sitch. You order your pizza well done. Oh, okay. And you get it well done, it's good. I didn't know about that till I went through one of their online menus. There's one thing I love about when restaurants start including online menus that kind of give you a peeled back look at what you can do.
Yeah.
And I saw like somebody had like on a drop down menu, it said well done. I was like, the what?
Yeah, when?
Who the?
Yeah, who told y'all that?
You've been keeping this?
This must be a secret.
Yeah, y'all been keeping this from me? This whole time? I've been eating raw dough for years?
Yeah.
I was like, impossible. So I tried it out. And I was like, oh my God, this fixes everything.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have to do that next time.
So I'm telling you, well done. Shit's legit. And I usually do well done and light sauce because I'm not a big sugar sweet sauce guy.
Yeah,
man.
me either.
That's not my jam. I also don't like white sauce on pizza as much.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why?
Yeah. Don't get no pizza, man.
Yeah, if I want Alfredo, I'm going to get it. Yeah. I don't want it on my pizza.
Yeah, you just want cheesy bread.
Yeah.
Get you some cheesy bread.
Yeah, don't do that. Like, I don't mind, like, you showed me that one that's just a garlic smear.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
But a white sauce?
Yeah.
Keep your liquid milk off my pizza.
Yeah.
We ain't doing that. I'm not doing it. That's not okay. I'm good. Like, it's not a lasagna. You're gonna stack another pizza on top of it and just keep this going?
Yeah, go and put some noodles on there while you at it.
Yeah, you better well done those things, because man, that's gonna be a real soggy boy.
Yeah.
Like two ass soggy pizza. Oh nah. That's what's up. Anyway, I think that's a fair amount of content.
Yeah.
For
we just made 2 long ass pizza episodes.
Yeah, I hope y'all are ready for this.
Yeah.
If y'all aren't ordering pizza now, you're probably going to. You're going to soon.
100%. I'm probably gonna go order a pizza and fuck my diet up. Yeah.
All right. On that note, we are out of here. I'm gonna go get pizza.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking either gonna make pizza or I'm gonna order pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza's gonna happen.
Yeah.
In the very near future. So until next time, we out. Peace.